All set? Good evening, everyone. We'll start with call the meeting to order. Start with the pledge of the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, this is the Monday, September 26, 2022 meeting. Looking for approval of the agenda. Motion by Jason, seconded by Phil. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries. Okay, next item on the agenda is a public hearing for the proposed changes to the Arundel Municipal Charter, which was last amended on November 8th, 2011. Is there anybody here from the audience that would like to hear or have any comments concerning the charter? Okay.
If I may, the only thing I would encourage folks is that when you're leaving, there's copies of the adjustments that are being proposed on a municipal charter for those folks who may want to go home and read about the changes. And if you have any questions after the public hearing, you can give me a call in my office or email me and we'll try to get you your answers. Thanks.
Okay. All right, so we'll close the public hearing on the Arundel Municipal Charter. The next item we have is a public hearing to amend the Municipal General Assistance Ordinance. Turn that over to the town manager.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, every year, because we have adopted the MMA General Assistance Ordinance, we're provided with adjustments that they propose for heating, for food, based on certain criteria. I have those copies in your packet, and generally speaking, that's about the only changes that are made. The ordinance is the MMA draft ordinance that we've adopted and we update every year.
Okay, does anybody have any comments, questions, concerns? All right, hearing none, we will close the public hearing on the amendment of the Municipal General Assistance Ordinance. Next item on the agenda is a public forum. This is where we'll take comments from any non-agenda items. Does anybody have any comments on non-agenda items? If you could, please step up to the table, turn the mic on, state your name, address, zip code, social security number.
If time permits, would it be possible to have a quick discussion on the website business listings tonight? To try to decide who we're going to allow or not to allow so that I can finish it up and finalize it.
Yeah, we can add that under other business.
Sure.
Thank you, John. Anything else? Okay. Next item is approval of minutes of September 12th and 15th. I do have a change. On September 12th, for the full-time fire department staff, it's Stephen Specken, not Sticken.
Is that on the minutes of the 15th, Tom?
12th. All right, yeah, you just recused yourself.
That's on the Vinegar Hill license, you know? Right. Okay.
Okay. Second, motion by Tom, approved by Phil as amended. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Motion carried. Was that for both of them, Tom? That was for both of them, September, or you weren't even at the 15th one? That's right. Yep. That's right, you weren't there. Motion by Jason, seconded by Phil to approve the September 15th. All those in favor? 3-0.
So was it 3-0?
Yep, 3-0. Okay, no committee and board reports. Managers report. First item on the agenda is the status and efforts of 159 Proctor Road.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. As you know, we had a findings of fact and then a notice of order reference to the 159 Proctor Road and the dangerous building statute there. Part of that process was that they were ordered, the property owners were ordered by September 21st to abate the danger and nuisances that were within the interior of the structure. And they should substantially clean, including the removal of all waste, trash, and debris that was observed within the structure. Once that was done, as part of that, we provided them 2 30-yard dumpsters to be set there for them to put that material in there, and then we trucked them off. And as I reported before, we had one that's already gone that was filled and removed, and then another one that of today is still there. They were expected to provide the board and town officials with evidence that the conditions within the structure have been substantially remediated to the satisfaction of the board. So they were to provide us photographs or come here tonight and provide to you some sort of information that they had completed that task. I sent the code officer down there today to take a look at what was going on. He visited the site and he spoke to Mr. Lamb. The number 2's dumpster is still on site, but it's only half full. And Mr. Lamb indicated he cannot do any more work and that he needs help to further assist in cleaning that. So that's what was reported to him today. I had no contact with the Lambs at all. Nobody's contacted me. I spoke with Wendy this afternoon, just prior to her leaving for the day, to see if York County Community Action had been involved. No comments, no talk, no conversations at all with York County Community Actions either. So that's what we have. So we have half of a dumpster that's on site that's half full, dumpster number 2. And so that's where we are. No idea. They were supposed to report back to you with that information. And my thought was they were supposed to give us something by the 21st, and which would have been Wednesday of last week, I believe. So Wednesday or Thursday. So I figured that, by this meeting, we'd maybe have some information in our hands, but we have none. Well, the order provides flexibility to this board and to this manager to take some sort of efforts to move forward with whatever other additional work that we have to do there, which maybe also include the demolition of the building. So that's where we are at this particular stage. I think that right now, we'll get the dumpster removed and whatever materials in it will go. We'll have to get a hold of the lands again and say, you know, not sure what else you want us to do other than to exercise the notice of order that we've been provided. And then I would have to do similar to what I've done with other things. As a matter of fact, you'll be dealing with the demo of the old town hall tonight. We'd have to try to get some sort of estimates for cleaning and for tear down, those kinds of things. They do have a process to appeal whatever decision we make. So we have to make sure that we follow the notices and provide them ample opportunity to appeal whatever decision is rendered.
I don't think we have a choice, right? We put in an order, we gave them the opportunity. You know, okay, maybe he can't do it himself, but did he reach out to anybody? It doesn't look like he reached out to anybody to help. So we gave them the opportunity. I think we did due diligence. We need to continue on with the order at this point. Much as I hate to do that, but here's what it is.
I don't need any motion, not at this point. I think I have the order here. And obviously, before we move through, before any action is taken, I'm certainly going to be advising you folks as to where we want to go and how we want to proceed. So I'll just keep you in the loop. And as soon as I get more information, maybe they'll talk to me tomorrow. I'm not sure. After we contact them, and we'll see where it's going to take us.
Next item is status on some open office positions.
Yes, as you know, we have the town clerk's position open right now. It's not filled. We have deputy town clerk, tax collector's position also is open and not filled. I interviewed 6 people last week, and I asked 4 of those people to come back and talk with the staff. I've gone through, I put a short list together. I have 4 on there, 2 for the town clerk's position and 2 for deputy town clerk, tax collector's position. The staff had 1 interview with one of the applicants today, another one for the town clerk's position tomorrow, and then the other 2 will be Wednesday and Thursday, respectfully, of this week. So by the end of this week, I should pretty much know where I'm going to make some offers to individuals to hire. What I did is I pretty much have got a good idea of who I would like to see, but I did not want to move forward with that selection until the staff had an opportunity to sit down with the candidates and get a feel for them. I didn't want to put somebody into a position of authority over staff that have been here a long time if we didn't have a good meshing of personalities and work ethic and those things. So those are going on this week, and by the end of the week, the first and next, I should have some selections and make some offers to folks. Obviously, we'll make an offer, then we'll have to do some background checks just to confirm. And so I'm hopeful that I'll have some answers for you at your next meeting.
All right, moving on to business. To sign the order for the ballot changes.
Yeah,
Minutes.
Mr. Chair, I have it here. I believe we're going to have to make a motion in second to approve that and sign those changes. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong one. Yeah. That's the ballot.
All right, so, let me just read this for a second.
Yeah, basically, that'll be the posting and the signing, so we can go ahead and complete the warrant, do the development of the ballot. We have some samples, but that provides our interim town clerk the authority, or Simone in this case, the authority to move forward with the process.
So this is for, all right, because this item here was modifications to the GA ordinance.
No, this says modifications with the municipal charter
Yeah,
ordinance.
I'm reading what you gave us.
Yeah, I didn't write it down.
Okay.
Didn't put it on your explanations, my
Yeah.
apologies. But what you have there in front of you is the order to sign in order to move forward with the November election on those
For
charter
the charter.
amendments.
All right, so I'm looking for a motion to approve. This. A motion by Phil, seconded by Tom. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Today is the 9th, let me see, 26. You're gonna need one for the GA ordinance too, right?
Excuse me?
You're gonna need the same thing for the GA
Yes,
ordinance?
I'm going to need
Yep.
here.
Yep. So next item on the agenda is for the general assistance ordinance. Modifications to the general assistance ordinance. Looking for a motion to approve that. Motion by Jason, seconded by Phil. Any other discussion? All those in favor? All right, next item on the agenda is the demo estimates for 468 Limerick Road, the Old Town Hall.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, our second go around, we're trying to get estimates to tear the building down. We were successful. We've received 3 estimates for the tear down. The first estimate came in from Sawyer and Sons Excavating from Dayton, Maine at $29,610. The second one after that was Briggs Contracting out of Westbrook, Maine at $28,000 flat. And then we had a estimate from Dearborn Construction in Buxton, Maine for $25,708. Those all fall within the limits that we had for the money that we had set aside to not only take care of asbestos mitigation, but the tear down of the building. So based on the estimates I received, I would recommend that we approve the estimate from Dearborn Construction of Buxton, Maine of $25,708.
Did you look at that, Phil? Did you see anything that stands out on that?
Right, the one thing that Phil did pick up on the estimate is that they talked about removing the demolition or removable concrete foundation blocks as necessary. I just want to make sure that they understand it's the entire foundation and not just the blocks that were in the vault. So I'll just double check that, but everything else in their estimate, they'll supply the equipment and labor and the demo for 4,046 square feet of building. Remove the debris demo and take it to an approved Maine Department of Environmental Protection approved facility. And then remove the foundation as well. What it doesn't include would be the removal of contaminants and handling of any of the asbestos, which has been concluded. Now that if we get a vote for this tonight, then I can send the Form 404 form to the DEP indicating who's going to do the demo of the building. The backfilling of the foundation and all the shutoffs of the public utilities was done by the town. Remove of the existing pavement, existing pavement staying, and the removal of the septic system is staying, and supplying loam and seed for the area and fill will be done by the town. So they've covered everything that we had that we asked for within the estimate.
Okay. So there's a recommendation from the town manager to approve the Dearborn Construction Buxton Dearborn Construction out of Buxton, Maine for $25,708. Looking for a motion to accept that on the condition that it is a full basement. Yep, motion by Phil, seconded by Tom. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Carries. Okay, next item is approval of accounts payable. Yep. Motion by Jason. Seconded by Phil. All those in favor? All right, next item is we'll talk a little bit about the, the town website.
Before we get into the website, was there any schedule attached to the bids for tearing down the old town hall?
Schedule when they're going to do it?
Yeah. When we decided to do a business directory for the website, I started working on it with the intention that it would be in accordance with the website policy, which calls for any businesses listed to be a member of the Kennebunkport and Arundel Chamber of Commerce. What I've run into in developing this list is that without putting too much effort into it, I've got a 5-page list of businesses totaling 157. Members of the Chamber of Commerce total 44. Seems to me that limiting this directory to just members of the Chamber of Commerce doesn't really reflect the level of business activity in Arundel.
Pretty much
So-
what Linda was talking about, right?
Exactly what
Right.
Linda's talking about.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm looking for any guidance you guys might have in terms of who else to include. Now, the list that I've got it broken down by businesses that have an Arundel address, businesses that pay personal property tax off a list that Keith gave me from the tax assessor. Also got listings as to whether or not they have a website or a yellow page listing, which would indicate whether they're active or not. Like I said, the total businesses on the list are 157. Total members of the Chamber of Commerce is 44, and I have 101 businesses on the tax assessors list. Anybody have any thoughts on who you'd like to include or you wouldn't like to include? Now, I would just throw in one more comment. On the old website, before we renewed it, we had a business directory, which we threw in everybody and anybody who had any sort of business activity in Arundel. Those names had been on there for probably 8 or 10 years, and we didn't have any complaints that I know of. So if I had my druthers, I would probably include anybody on this list and allow them to be listed. But I think Keith might have a different opinion, and I'm not sure about that.
I do.
Well, first question that I have is, you said some of these had websites. How did you find that out? How did you do the investigation to find out if they had a website or not?
I went on the search engine.
Yeah,
and
okay.
Typed in the name of the company, and
Yeah,
9
so-
times out of 10, it comes up with a website.
Right, so that's a maintenance nightmare going forward, right?
It is. And that was the original reason that I suggested that members, that people that were gonna list be a member of the Chamber of Commerce, because it would be easy for us to keep track of those listings. But after putting these names together, I don't think 44 names out of a list of 157 is really representative. And like I say, this 157, this is just from a quickie. I'm sure there's more out there that aren't included on the list.
Keith, you had some comments?
Yeah, I have some concerns about 157 list, and initially when we did it, I think we thought that, if we chose a factor that could be verified, then it was probably a good way to proceed, in that those people are business owners that have taken the time to register with the chamber and so on and so forth. The fear that I have with 157, not that they may or may be there, but I do not want to have the town's website putting a business up on the website as a business to frequent if they're in violation of our zoning. They could be in violation of our land use zoning. They could be a business that's being prompted as a business that isn't having any review by the town. We may not even know they exist. They may be running a business out of their home that we know nothing about, whether they have the approval or not. So that was my concern in relationship to it, that I think we're going down in my view, a slippery slope, because we may miss somebody, we may not find somebody, we may put somebody on who is in violation. What are we going to do about that? How are we going to manage that moving forward? Are we going to remove them when they're in violation so their name doesn't appear on it? I thought we were doing it as a community service, and it would be something that would be beneficial. So I'm up for.
List everybody, some business is beyond violation of zoning ordinance, but occasional practices that we don't support. How do we remove it? What's the process?
Yeah.
It's problematic.
Obviously, this is opening up a big bag of worms, and if there is that much concern, I would suggest we just do away with it completely, rather than run a partial list of 40 names out of 160. That would be my choice. If you guys are that concerned about it, I'd say let's just can it. and
Well,
take it down.
Yeah, I'm just providing my thoughts. I mean, this board can make their decisions and we will do what they ask us to do, but
I'll get you, Donna.
But I think it's, you know, if you decide that you want us to look into it, then certainly John and I can probably work together and try to work through some of the issues that may be expressed here tonight, that I've expressed as well, so we can come down with a solid number of businesses and maybe provide a process that they can register their business, if that's something you want to do.
Why don't we check with our neighbors to see how they handle it? See if they have the same concerns.
Do they have them on their website?
I
Do-
believe
do our-
Kennebunk does. I can't remember which ones I checked now. If it was Kennebunk, I can't remember, but there was one of them that had all, had a business page and had all the businesses on there. So,
Okay.
I mean, I think in today's world with, everything all being web, people are always looking at the web. If somebody's thinking about coming to Arundel and wants to open up a business, to me, I think the first place they go is our website. So I think somehow it ought to be there, but I don't want to add a maintenance nightmare. If it becomes a maintenance nightmare, then it's conducive to what we want, so.
It's different. What you're speaking of is different. Finding a business. You're talking about opening a business. Is that what you said?
No, well, no, so if somebody is looking for a business, if somebody's looking for, geez, or even opening a business, it's like, well, what do they have available in Arundel? What type of businesses are in Arundel? What, geez, is my business gonna, work well with what's already there? Or, it just, people use search engines all the time and, I know I visit various town websites when I'm going there to look for certain businesses, or for whatever I'm doing, if I'm going away for a weekend somewhere, I go to their website and see if they've got any links on anything that's available there, just out of curiosity. So. There are a ton of ways to find these. I just, my thoughts. I think Donna had, please step up to the microphone, please. Listen, I don't want to hear from anybody else that we can't hear, so please.
Which is unusual for me. If you're going to rely on the people who are or businesses who are registered with the Chamber of Commerce, what would be the difference in relying on registration with the town of Arundel? And in doing so, you could weed out those businesses that might be in violation of something or other. Put that as part of the form and the requirements. What kind of business is it? Where do you conduct that business, and so on and so forth? And a disclaimer at the bottom, if you are in violation of any of Arundel's ordinances or other rules and regulations, you will not be included in the directory. We've had a long-standing, I can't think of how many decades now, issue in this town about whether we as a town support our local businesses well or not. Certainly putting some sort of a directory on the town website would be an expression of support for the local businesses, who in turn support us with huge numbers of tax dollars. So I don't see a problem with having it on the website, but I don't see any reason why the town format can't control that and not be a nightmare for the website. Because as the form comes through, it's either approved or it isn't. So it either goes on the website or it doesn't. And you could also do they have to re-register every year, every 5 years, some time span. And if somebody disappears, then you drop them from the website.
Exactly.
Oh, sorry, Tom, I can't hear you.
Donna's idea.
Yeah.
That one of the provisions that be that violation of town ordinance, violations, other violations that we can remove.
Right.
Well, we have a pre-agreement in place. How do people understand it?
You can do that, but I think the way this is gonna work out is we tell X number of businesses that they've gotta come up to town hall and fill out a form to get on the website.
That's their choice.
We
right?
can,
You can make it, fillable online.
yeah, I don't have I think it's a great suggestion, maybe just putting together an application and
Right.
just tell them that, if you
Well, it
want to be
seems
on
to-
the website, you need to fill out the application. The application is available at the town hall, and they either come in and get one or they don't get one. Or maybe we put it on the town website, they can fill it out, send it back to us. Then you and I can review it and make a decision.
Hmm?
I mean, the way he's got it set up, I think is great because it breaks it down to what services they provide. And then there's a bunch of things there that are vendors or businesses that are listed and you can pick who you want. So I think in theory, I think it works out fine. So
Okay, years ago, Donna, didn't you work up a form for doing this, for registering businesses? Back. Okay.
Yeah, it sounds like something I might have done.
You don't still have it.
I'll search my memory banks. And
Okay.
it would be simple to put together.
Yeah,
I think so too.
yeah, doesn't have to just, if you want to be registered on a town's website, if you want to be listed on the town's website, here's a form you fill out.
I think we leave it the way it is right now until we get this up and running. That's my view.
Yep,
Okay, so what I'm hearing is, as of for the time being, we just list anybody who is a member of the Chamber of Commerce.
Right?
And that's it.
You already got that listed.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we'll put together the application form, you and I, and we'll
Okay.
run it by the board too. They can take a look at it. And then once that's ready, we can remove whatever's there and say, if you want to be on the business forum, here's the application, please fill it out.
Okay, thank you.
okay, thank you.
Yep, good idea.
Anybody else got anything else? I do have one quick question. Do we have any update yet on the Brimstone Road?
Nope.
We're still waiting for
Waiting for-
Verizon or Spectrum?
We're waiting for a pole to be replaced or removed.
All right, goodness. What's going on? 2 years?
And they're gonna be driving by it every day. I can just imagine what my phone's gonna be like then.
We have a motion by Jason to adjourn at 7:38. Seconded by Phil. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries. Oh, well, we already
They
did.
did.
Yeah, no, I want to throw something. Was it too late? Nobody gonna, whatever.
My suggestion would be email to Keith what you got, or,
Stop and see me, Bill.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, we just,
No, all I was gonna say, we were over there cleaning. Last week, boys across the street, down in there. I went over Saturday, didn't wanna talk to me with the excavator sitting in the middle of the door yet. The only reason Donnie and Eric gave up was I wouldn't get coffee, for coffee drinkers. They cleaned it and everything, they're eating in front of them, throwing the waste on the ground. Donnie looked at me, I looked at her. He said, bullshit, this is stupid. We brought it back home, we all went next door and said, the hell with it, brought the excavator home. Yeah, help somebody, one help us.
Right.
That makes sense? Right in front of us.
and Billy, that's kind of why we said, we need to move forward with the order, right?
Tear it down, burn it down, knock it down, whatever, it's crazy. Serious, they don't want the help, it's stupid, they even drove the excavator, it's anti. They don't make sense. So, it is what it is. See you then. Yeah, the hot side, see you yourself.
Did you already, did you already?
Yeah.